Hi, so I know it's been a really long time since I've done any sort of reviews or anything, but I finally got a chance to go see a show um, and decided I would do a review of it. So here we go. I went to see Shrek the Musical. That's right, Shrek, everyone's favorite green Michael Myers voiced ogre, is now a Broadway musical. So my review goes as follows. The show right now is still in previews. I'm not certain of the opening date. As for the music is good. I mean, it's not spectacular. There's no sort of overly catchy, really standout songs. There are a couple good ones. The first song, I believe it's called I Know It's Today for Fiona, is really great. I like the way it was done. The things I didn't like about the songs, there's one song in particular, Donkey Pot Pie, which is sung by the dragon, that you can't really understand any of the words, which was rather unfortunate because it's a really interesting sequence in the show. And then also, there were a couple songs that sounded too similar to songs from Rent. There were two songs in particular, and I think it's not intentional. I mean, maybe it's intentional, because there are several instances where they sort of pay some comic homages to other musicals, but I think this was an unintentional similarity, but I just couldn't get over it during those songs, and I just kept thinking, this is not good. Overall, though, I mean, it's decent. It's good music. It's just nothing special, you know? For the dancing, there were a couple really good dance sequences that I liked. One during the Donkey Pot Pie song with black lights and dancers in skeleton costumes to look like dancing bones, which was really cool. And then at the beginning of the second act, there's a dance sequence with Fiona, a big tap dancing sequence, which was excellent. The only thing with the dance sequences is they really don't advance the story or have anything to do with the basic plot, and so they're just sort of thrown in there to be dance sequences, and I don't really think they're needed. You know, they're great, but I just don't think it's necessary. The story itself, I think it's a great and almost entirely faithful adaptation of the movie story, which then in turn was an adaptation of the book Shrek. But and I like the theater references. As I mentioned, there were several references to other shows, which you sort of, when you notice them, are really hilarious. But the one thing that I think it was lacking is it lacked the adult humor from the movie. Like, there's just so many things in the movie that you just know kids wouldn't really see necessarily the humor in that. And I think the show lost that because it's trying, and it was very successful at marketing itself just towards kids and being sort of a family-friendly thing and everything like that. And so I think it succeeded in that aspect. Now, onto the brunt of the review, which would be the performances. Now, in general, they were all very good. The fairy tale creatures were excellent. The character of Pinocchio is absolutely amazing. John Tartaglia from Avenue Q is one of my favorite people. He's so hilarious, and he did an excellent job. I just think that he was almost a little underused. I just wanted to see more of him, you know? The actor playing the donkey, Daniel Breaker, is excellent. He's hilarious. He has great timing and an excellent voice, and I thought he was very excellent as well. Princess Fiona was played by Sutton Foster, who anything she does to me is golden. I mean, there's rarely sort of a disappointing performance from her, and this was no exception. And having sung with her with the New York Pops Orchestra at Carnegie Hall, I was very much looking forward to seeing her in the show, and I was not disappointed. And then, finally, the last two characters, major characters, are Lord Farquaad and Shrek. And I'll talk about Shrek first, even though he's sort of the main character. Shrek is played by Brian Darcy James, who is a great musical theater actor. I've been a fan of his since I've discovered the show Titanic when that came out. And I have to say I'm a little disappointed. I don't think that he was necessarily maybe the best person for the role. He's got an amazing voice. He sings great. The songs are good. But I just think that the whole performance of Shrek was a little bit lacking, and I'm not exactly certain why. Maybe it was restrictions from the costumes or something, but I just don't think... It's sort of like a role that just anyone could do, and there was sort of nothing special that he brought to it that's like, you know, that he made it his own. And that was a bit disappointing. And finally, Lord Farquaad, which is played by Christopher Sieber, who was in the original cast of Spamalot. And hands down, he should at least get a nomination, if not a Tony Award, I know, for a supporting actor in a musical for this. It was absolutely hilarious. He is such an amazing actor. And, you know, Lord Farquaad is very short, and he had to basically be on his knees the entire show, and the way they did it was amazing. And he's got such excellent comic timing, he's got a great voice, and he just brought so much to the role and so much to the show. I think the show would have sort of not been as good if he were not in it. And I definitely think just to see him alone in this role is a highlight of the show. So overall, my impression is that the show it's good. It's not great. It's not stellar. It's definitely something you should take kids to, especially if your kids love the movies. And maybe I wouldn't pay $115 for it, but if you can get if it comes out on TKTS eventually for half price, or you can find discounted tickets somewhere, I would do that. But I don't necessarily think it's worth the full price. And that's my review of Shrek the Musical. If you found it enlightening, please feel free to leave me your comments, and if you agree or disagree, for those people that have seen it or will be seeing it. And hopefully I'll be back to doing some more reviews soon, because it's prime movie season, so hopefully I'll be reviewing some films. Okay, thanks for listening.